Okay, so just so you guys know, some of my cords up here are too short. So eventually, they're getting me a longer cord, and the computer will be over here, so I can scoot over. I don't know, am I blocking that at all? Maybe a little. Okay. I think it's going to get better when I get those cords, but they had to order a really long one. So. All right, so everybody should have a math spiral. Last year, we had math notes. So these, I talked to you guys about bringing them in if you wanted. If you had me for math, I don't think I passed them back out to you, but I have them still. Okay. So your math notes, the very first page was your table of contents. So let's open up to the very first page. And in math, you do need to use pencil. Always use pencil. So open up to your first page, and I want you to put your heading. So in math class, you're going to start your heading on the first line. So your first name, your last name, and please put your class code. If you have me, bless you, it's 6S. If you have Cochran, 6C, and Miller is 6M. That way, if we find your notebook, we can return it. And then we're going to put today's date. Today is it's the 25th. And then I also want you to write math. In case somebody else finds your notebook, they'll know it's your math notebook and they can help get it back to you. Okay? With all the rotating we do in 6th grade and switching, you're going to want to make sure your stuff is labeled so we can get stuff back to you. All right, skip a line. And we're going to write table of contents. And underline it. And then put number 1 and circle it. Today we're actually going to be talking about multiplication table and, well, we're going to be talking about multiplication. So let's title it multiplication. And then put a couple dots. And that's going to be page 1. So then you can turn to the next page, which is going to be page 1. Title it multiplication. Guys, if you ever get behind on your notes, you can always borrow my math notebook and then get caught up, or if you're absent. So let's title your page multiplication. Always capitalize and underline. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we're going to put number 1 for page 1 and circle it. So you have a nice, clean piece of paper ready to go. So multiplication today, we have a couple vocabulary words. So we're actually going to start with factors. So we're going to write, I guess we could put number 1, factors. What are factors? What are factors?
Wait, isn't it like the numbers to an addition? No, to a multiplication problem? Like 5 times 4, which is a factor, 5 4.
Yeah. So they're the numbers that you multiply in a multiplication problem. So let's write that down. The numbers you you. Bless you. Now you get to make a wish. That was 3. Alright, number 2. So if we're talking about factors, we should probably talk about the product, right? And that was in our anytime problem today. Raise your hand. What's a product? I didn't mean to put a period right there. I don't know what that's about. Put a dash. That's weird. What's a product, Selma? Yeah, that's the answer to a multiplication problem. Alright. So, leave your notes open, but you can just push them to the side. And you're going to watch up here, so you don't need anything else. Just push your notes to the side. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, so last year you guys had packets that we made you. This year, you have a math book, and you tear out what you need. So it's a little different. Okay? So today, if you notice on the board, I wrote pages 1 to 6. The very first page is a letter to your parents. There's nothing for you to do with that. So that page can actually go home with you tonight. So right now, tear out, it's page 1. Just tear out page 1 and put that in your math folder. Dominic, this might sound weird, but I have your math book. It's in my bathroom. This is also my storage. So if you walk in there, on the left, there's a shelf, and yours is the only one that's so you can go in there and grab it. You didn't get one either? Math book? How did I miss 2 of you? Jackson, you can, I don't need to give my mom a letter, so you can have my letter. And in a minute, actually right now, will you go, who would have an extra? Can you go to the office and tell them we're short a math book? Okay, stop once, stop twice. Okay, so just page 1. Oh, if you speak Spanish, if you want to bring home the Spanish page, you can do that. That's nice. So, the next page I want you to actually tear out is page 5. Okay, and it looks like this. And it gives you a hint. It says 1-1. So, just tear out page 5. And then close your math book. You can set it to the side. Oh boy. Okay. And then eyes are up here so I know you're ready. Better go get it. Are you in Cochran or Miller? Miller. Ask Miss Miller when you go in, say, are kids allowed to come back and get their math book? Miss Shaver wasn't sure. She might send you right back. All right. For today's math lesson, we are working with the pattern in a multiplication table. Finn, just sit down. You can throw that away later. Is that the Spanish one? Yes. Just set it to the side, okay? Right now your eyes need to be up here. Okay, so we've got multiplication tables and patterns, and then we're going to actually do some things called factor puzzles. So today is kind of fun because it's just review for multiplication, but I think the patterns and the puzzles will be new. So, hold on. I gotta see where I gotta go to. Okay. Alright, so, you're looking up here. So if we have a multiplication table, Just to review, who remembers what this dot right here in the corner means? We talked about that in math last year. Trey?
0.
No, it's not going to be 0. It's a great guess, though. Jackson?
Multiply.
Yeah. So if you want, you could make yourself a little note and put an X for multiply. In 6th grade math, we're really going to start using that dot to show multiplication. Okay? So anytime you look at a table, look right here to see what operation you're supposed to use. Okay? Murdoch, what did she say? Only for today. You're lucky. All right. So, we have the numbers across and we have the numbers down. I think we know how multiplication tables work, but basically I can take 4 and 4 and see where they meet. And then I know 4 times 4 is 16. So that should be pretty familiar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to understand that first before we move on. So if we take a look, which number? Okay, if we take a look at table 5, we're going to look at the back. Okay, for some reason they want us to start with this one. So if we look at this one, what do you notice about the numbers going across and down? What do you notice? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Elizabeth. They are. We have some blue numbers and some yellow. What else? Emily? Yeah. Did you guys notice that? So these are going 2, 4, 7, 1, 5. And here we have 3, 1, 4, 2, 7, 9. What does that mean? Why would they do that? What do you think, Kaylee? That's exactly it. They just mixed them up. So if I have a 2 and a 3, they're still going to meet, and 2 times 3 is 6, right? Okay. So what you're going to notice today, some of your tables, like look at table 4. Table 4, they give you a hint, but the whole thing's blank. Isn't that crazy? So you're also going to have these factor puzzles. Now the table is supposed to help you with the puzzle. So the way these work, they gave you 3 numbers. A factor puzzle is kind of like a small piece of a multiplication table. So if I have a 6 and a 15, I want to think to myself, what factors go into 6 and 15 that I could use to solve my puzzle? So raise your hand. What factors go into 6 and 15? Sophie. 1, okay. So I might make a note. Maybe I'll make a little factor list over here. Could be 1. What do you think, Rebecca? 3. I was thinking 3 also. Raise your hand if you were thinking 3. Let's try that. So if it's 6 and 15, I'm thinking I might want to put it on the column. The cool thing with the factor puzzle is it's the same going here and here and here and here, like the row and the column. So if you put a 3 here, you're also going to have a 3 here. So if I start with this 6, 3 times what gives me 6? Everybody say it. 2. Okay. So that's true so far, right? So if I put a 2 here, I'm going to put a 2 here. Okay? So then I'm coming to this 15. 3 times what is 15? I also have a 35 here, which is going to share a similar factor. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? 5. Let's try 5. Is 3 times 5 15?
Yeah.
If I put a 5 here, I'm also going to put it right here. Okay, now I've got a 5 5 times what is 35? Jackson.
Oh, I just wanted to say she gave me another notebook.
Oh, volume 1 and 2. Okay, put volume 2 on my desk and keep volume 1. And 7. Yes. So you're going to put a 7 here, and if you have a 7 here, you're going to put it up here. That leaves us with a nice hint what number goes right here. What do you think? 14. Now, I wonder, are these 4 numbers over here in our table? They're on the blue and the red. Oh! Oh, look at that. That worked out nice. So we have 14, 6, 35, and 15. So that gave us a nice hint. So here's our 2 and our 5, 7 and 3. All right, we went way over on our note-taking part. So let me start.